If you see kids with completely black eyes after midnight, do not let them in. This isn't just a friendly warning. It's a rule for survival, a desperate plea whispered across countless forums and late-night calls. The stories always begin the same way: a persistent knock, a strange hour, and a simple, chilling request. Through the peephole, a man watches, his heart pounding against his ribs like a trapped bird. Outside, framed by the fisheye lens of his doorbell camera, stands a child no older than 10. The boy is motionless, a pale, still figure under the cold glare of the porch light. His voice, when it comes through the speaker, is unnervingly flat, a monotone hum that carries no hint of a child's inflection. "Let us in," the voice says, devoid of all emotion. "We just want to use the phone." The homeowner shakes his head, a silent, frantic no, mouthed to the empty hallway. He knows the story. He knows what they are. Stumbling backward from the door, his breath catching in his throat, he rushes to the security monitor on his kitchen counter. The screen flickers and his blood runs cold. Their voices join, a soft, harmonious whisper that slithers into the room. "We know you're alone," they chant in their dreadful unison. "We can feel your fear. It's not a threat. It's a statement of fact, an observation that makes the hairs on his arms stand on end." Panic sets in. He scrambles through the house, his hands trembling as he checks the deadbolt on the front door, the lock on the back sliding glass. Each click of the tumblers feels useless, a flimsy defense against something that doesn't follow normal rules. As he fumbles with a window latch, their voices echo again, but this time they aren't coming from the monitor. They seem to seep from the walls, from the floorboards, from the very air around him. "Your dog is scared," the sibilant whisper says, now a chorus from all directions. "He's hiding under your bed, poor thing." He freezes, his gaze darting towards the bedroom. The dog hasn't made a sound. Suddenly, the lights overhead begin to flicker, each pulse a violent strobe that paints the room in stark flashes of light and shadow. They buzz erratically, faster and faster, before a final, loud pop plunges the house into absolute, suffocating darkness. The security monitor squeals with static, its screen a blizzard of white noise. Silence descends, thick and heavy. And then a final, terrifying whisper, so close it feels like a breath on the back of his neck. It's too late. The camera slowly pushes in on the front door. It hangs slightly ajar, a dark slice in the frame. Beyond it, there is nothing. Not the street, not the porch light, just an impenetrable, consuming blackness. The night air was a dead weight, heavy and silent, pressing in from all sides. He stood frozen in the hallway, a statue carved from fear. The front door was ajar, a dark slash against the deeper black of the night, swallowing all sound. It offered no comfort, only an invitation to the unknown that had already seeped inside. Across the room, the security monitor was the only source of light, its screen awash of faint, dancing static that did nothing to pierce the oppressive gloom. The silence wasn't empty. It was watchful. His heart hammered against his ribs as he fumbled in the dark, hands searching for anything, a heavy lamp, his phone, a weapon. But the shadows clung to everything, hiding the familiar shapes of his home. That's when the sound came, a whisper thin as a spider's thread, drifting down from the second floor. Looking for something? He snapped his head up. At the top of the stairs, a small silhouette took shape against the darkness. It was a child, holding his phone. For a fleeting second, the screen lit up, illuminating a pale face and two bottomless pools of black where eyes should have been. A choked gasp escaped him as he stumbled backward, crashing into the living room. His frantic gaze landed on the mantelpiece, on the smiling faces of his family frozen in silver frames. As he watched, the eyes in the photographs began to change, the pupils bleeding outward until they consumed the irises, turning into miniature voids. The whispers were no longer in the air. They were inside his skull, twisting his most cherished memories into weapons. "They never left you?" The voices hissed, a venomous chorus. "Not really. You were always a disappointment." He crumpled to the floor, sliding down the wall into a corner, his body racked with sobs that made no sound. The shadows in the room seemed to deepen, to gather. They flowed together like ink in water, coalescing into two small figures standing before him. The black-eyed children. They extended their hands, palms up, in a gesture of offering. The internal whispers shifted, the cruelty softening into a gentle, soothing balm. "It's okay," they crooned, their voices a lullaby of despair. "You don't have to be afraid anymore. Just let us in." He looked up, his face slick with tears. A single drop traced a path down his cheek, a final testament to the man he once was. Through the haze of his shattered mind, he saw their hands, their empty eyes, and felt a strange sense of peace. He gave a slow, deliberate nod. The camera pushed in, closer and closer, until his eye filled the frame. The color drained away, flooding with an absolute, perfect blackness. And then the whisper stopped. Silence returned, deeper and more final than before. Sunlight filters through the blinds, casting long, clean stripes across the hardwood floor. In the now immaculate living room, the man sits motionless, a vessel in a worn armchair, his gaze fixed on nothing at all. On the wall behind him, where smiling family portraits once hung, there are only the blank, pale rectangles of their reversed frames. The silence in the house is absolute, a heavy, waiting stillness that suffocates the morning air. With emotion too fluid to be human, he rises from the chair. His joints don't seem to bend. They simply flow, one movement leading into the next without pause or hesitation. He walks toward the front door, each step a measured, deliberate act of will. The camera tracks his unnaturally smooth progress as he opens the door and steps out into the blindingly cheerful suburban street. The chirping birds and the distant hum of a lawnmower create a sickeningly sweet contrast to the cold purpose emanating from him. He crosses his perfectly manicured lawn, his path a straight, unwavering line toward the house next door. A woman, his neighbor, is tending to her vibrant flower beds, a watering can in hand. She looks up, a wide, friendly smile on her face as she spots him. She raises a hand in greeting. "Morning, Tom. You're up and about early today." Her voice is warm, a piece of the perfect suburban tapestry he is about to unravel. The vessel stops just a few feet in front of her, his presence a sudden void in the bright morning. He offers no reply, no gesture, just an unblinking, predatory stare. The woman's smile begins to fade, her friendly demeanor replaced by a flicker of confusion, which quickly curdles into a knot of unease and then outright fear. His head tilts, a slow, unnatural angle that seems to defy anatomy. The camera pushes in for a tight close-up on his face as the corners of his mouth lift into a small, chilling smile. When he speaks, his voice is a horrifying composite, a layered, distorted whisper of his own tone, mingled with the faint, ghostly echoes of children's laughter. "I was hoping you could help me. Can I come in?" The focus shifts past his shoulder, landing on the neighbor's face, her expression a mask of pure terror. In the reflection of his now solid black eyes, we see her horrified visage. A silent scream captured just as a new cycle of infection begins.